My child can't tolerate loud noises. What should I do? My name is Dr. Brew. I'm a developmental pediatrician, and you can follow us on Gentle Brain MD Ghana. In the last few years, this has been a complaint we are getting a lot. Parents complaining that their children, especially below the age of 5, cannot tolerate any form of loud noise. Noises such as the blender or people talking loudly or dogs barking, or sometimes even the parents talking to each other. The kids get very frustrated. They start putting their hands over their ears, or they start screaming and shouting, or they become afraid. So every little noise, the child becomes afraid. Teachers are complaining that the teacher talking in the class and the child is complaining that the noise is too loud. Even at Sunday school, complain that the music is too loud and everybody is loud around them. And parents are asking, what can I do? I think the first thing we need to do is look at why your child can't tolerate loud noises. If you look back in your background, you would notice that you've never really had issues with noise. You can go to a place that is noisy, you can be in a place that is quiet, somebody can play loud music around you, and you are just fine, but your child just can't tolerate. So there are certain things that have happened over the years that have contributed to this phenomenon. The first one I want to talk about is the fact that now we are living in smaller units, perhaps just the mother, the father, and the child, and maybe another child also. So the house, and we live in a relatively, let's say, new area. So the place is very quiet, and the child doesn't go anywhere. Everywhere is very quiet. So that has trained the child to not get used to loud noises. The second, and which I think is the most prevalent problem, reason why children cannot tolerate loud noises, is the use of the screen. Now, if you pick the popular cartoons that our children are watching hour upon hour, the television is on, is playing that cartoon, the tablet is playing that cartoon, mommy's phone is playing that cartoon. You would notice that these cartoons have the same frequency when it comes to noise. And so your child is used to only that frequency. So if you talk to your child at that frequency, your child hears you. If you talk to your child above that frequency or below that frequency, your child doesn't hear you or it's not comfortable. And I'll give you an example. You'll find out that if you want to call your child, you have to speak like a cartoon. Keep that frequency before your child will hear you. If you call your child normally like every other child, the way you call other people, your child won't hear you. And that is because the ears have been trained to concentrate only at that level. And this is very important for us to understand. So, what is the first step? The first step to helping your child is we would need you to get a complete hearing test for your child. This is done in any of the major hospitals in Ghana. If you go in, they will test and make sure your child has normal hearing. Once that is certified that your child has normal hearing, the next step is to train your child's ears to get used to normal sound. Dear parents, your child will need to live in a world where there is noise. It's not possible that your child will live in a quiet world. And so getting your child earphones that cover the ears and prevent your child from hearing noise won't help your child at all if your child is going to grow up in Ghana here. However, since your child is still young, you can train the ear to adjust as depending on the sounds that is there. And that means introducing your child to normal sounds that everybody must get used to. And the best place we have found that you can have this type of normal sound is the market. We have found out that our marketplaces have all the varieties of noise that a person living in Ghana must get used to, from the very low to the very high, all the various frequencies. And so, as part of our management, we recommend that parents take their children along with them to the market. Take your child, get into a trotro, because the trotro to have various amount of noise, and then let them take you to market. If you're in Accra, we recommend taking your child to Makola Market. Take your child to the market, get down the market, and then hold your child's hand and walk up and down through the market. Walk up and down. Do that a few times a week. We do that multiple times. So the child's ears adjust to various sounds and the child is able to be comfortable around sound. Parents tell us that after they've done this multiple times, They cannot take their child anywhere. The child does not startle anymore when there's a loud noise, when a dog is barking, when a car horns, when they put on the blender, or all the normal sounds that you are oblivious to. Parents, let's help our children build their hearing well. Let's not make it an issue. Let's help our children's ears learn to adjust to every sound. And that is a way to. So, if your child is covering the ears, if your child screams when there's a loud noise, please let's get help for our children. Let's take our children to the market. And of course, that tells us also that perhaps we should get our child a complete developmental assessment. So, pop in into the nearest pediatrician and ask for a developmental assessment. And that can help us know what other issues your child may have. Thank you very much. I want you to follow us on this page.